Welcome in, quick hitters. Welcome in, Goodymo short crew. Well, this is it. Week 18. We at the end of the schedule. Playoffs round the corner. We're going to get into the week 18 picks. We're going to run through it. Really don't need to stay on it too long. I mean, you're going to have a handful of teams that are probably not even having the starters out there. You're going to have some desperate teams looking to win. You got teams that's trying to play spoiler. So you got a lot of different scenarios going into this last game of the season, getting ready for the playoffs. But we do have our picks. But some big games this weekend. No doubt about that. So let's take it at the top. Big Freaky Friday. Steelers and Ravens. You know that's going to be a good one. You know that's going to be a good one. I'm going to take the Steelers, of course. Ravens are hot. They're at home. Will Lamar Jackson play? There's a big situation there. So I don't know if they decided that or not, but I'm still going to pick these Steelers in week 18 and see if they can keep it moving. So we will take those Steelers. Where's my pen at? Where is the pen? There we go. Oh, that ain't gonna work. There we go. Okay. Steelers in week 18. Jaguars and Titans. That's going to be a big one if you're a Houston Texan fan, because if the Jaguars get beat by the Titans and the Houston Texans take care of their business, not only that they're going to the playoffs, but they will win the division with a Jaguars loss. So really the Texans, their destiny is in their own hands. If you just want to get to the playoffs, just take care of your business. For the Jaguars and the Titans, don't need to worry about that. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. But to win the division and make the playoffs, hey, you'll take it in a package deal. But I'm going to take the Titans. Yeah, I know. They're pitiful. They're at home, they're playing spoiler, but something tells me that when you're playing I don't want to say desperate because they're not going to make the playoffs, but they want to play spoiler, and I mean, they're going to pull out all gadgets. And the Jaguars, they're coming to play that game. It's a trap game. I can see the Titans upsetting those Jaguars. So I'm taking them in week 18. Falcons and Saints. Saints, y'all done proved something to me. Y'all done won the last, 2 weeks after I stopped picking y'all. I think y'all want me back on the bandwagon. I'm going to pick y'all this week against those Falcons. Y'all at home. Go ahead and make me look good. Y'all beat the Bucks, which surprised me. But hey, you're 8-8. Go ahead and get that one. I'm going to take y'all in week 18. Speaking of the Bucks, they played against the Panthers. Losing to the Saints, I'm thinking those Bucks, they ought to be a little motivated, let's just say. And the Panthers, you already know their record. They're ridiculous. So Buccaneers should be taking care of their business down there in Carolina. I'm taking the Buccaneers in week 18. Take this down. Bears and Packers. Every time they get together. Yeah, that's an old school rivalry. But I'm taking the Packers at home. That shouldn't be no shock. They beat the Vikings last week. Packers are 8-8. Bears can surprise, but I'm not going to roll with them. I'm not going to roll with them. I'm going to take those Packers in Week 18. Broncos and Raiders. Broncos and Raiders. I'm going to take the Raiders. Seems like the Broncos are starting to fall apart. I don't expect Russell Wilson to be there next year. I think Sean Payton has seen all he needed to see. After vouching for him, he says no more. Put Russell Wilson on the shelf. Spoil goods and we're going to take you out to the trash. Basically, sad song if you look at it. Especially where Russell Wilson came from, Super Bowl quarterback. When he was with Seattle, I mean, this guy is one of the top quarterbacks in the league at the time. I don't know how he just fell off the map. I don't know if it's the system. I don't know if he just don't have it anymore. But he lost something. And now he lost his starting job.
Oh, that's not good.
And we'll see who's going to pick him up next year. Who's going to give him a shot. But the way he's been playing football, this guy could easily be out of the league. I mean, I don't know if it's a handful of teams or not that's going to pick him up and put him in a starting lineup as a QB and lead their team. I just don't see that. But I'm taking the Raiders in Week 18. Seahawks and Cardinals. I like what I saw from the Cardinals. I seen it firsthand. They gave those Eagles something to think about. And those Cardinals looked like a playoff team last week. They did. They looked so good.
Excuse me, boss. You have a text message. Excuse me, boss. You have a text message.
Excuse me on that. But they looked so good that I'm going to pick them this week against the Seahawks in Week 18. Chiefs and Chargers. We're going with the Chiefs on that. Not going to put too much thought to it, but I don't see the Chiefs losing that game against the Chargers. Chargers don't even have their starting quarterback. When you got Patrick Mahomes frustrated, thinking his record should be better. Got his wide receivers letting him down every week with a drop ball or lining up the wrong way, holding, whatever you want to call it. So they want to end the season on a good note. I see them going in there and taking care of business. I'm taking the Chiefs. Let's take this thing back to the top. Texans and Colts, there it is. You want to turn this franchise around, you win on Saturday night. Take care of your business against the Colts, and you're in there. But I got a shocker. This is going to be a shocker. I'm picking the Colts this week. I'm hoping I can help them by me going against them. I know the history. I know what's been done in the past. This is a huge game. This is one of the biggest games for the Texans since, you could say, 2019? You know? Last time they had some playoff berth. Yeah, it's been that long. Now, if these Texans can go in there and take care of business and get to the playoffs, see, I don't mind being wrong. I don't. But games like this is where the Texans always came up short. Always came up short. Huge game, and the Colts have always been a thorn in their behind. Whether Peyton Manning was over there, giving them the business. Go back and look at wide receiver Hilton and see his games against the Texans. Been all world. Even back then, Reggie Wayne, we can go on and on and on. The Colts have just been giving the Texans the business when it matters most. things have changed. There's no Peyton Manning, no Reggie Wayne. The defense ain't what it was back then with Peyton Manning in the squad. So, but they're still a good team. Let's not misunderstand that. They're playing at home. In their mind, they looking like they can get it. They believing they can get it. And it's up to the Texans to go down there and just spoil it. Spoil all their fun. But this could be a turning moment. The Texans can pull this out. It could be a turning moment. And the culture, everything. Just making the playoffs, man. That's a big stepping stone. So I'm taking those Colts. I'm trying to use it like reverse psychology, I guess you want to say, but that's what's going to happen here. So we're going to check it out and see. Vikings and Lions. Oh, man, them Lions, they could have got those Cowboys. I felt like they could have got them. I believe they should have got them, but they didn't. They sitting at 11-5. Oh, I'm going with those Lions against those Vikings. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Is this the end of Kirk Cousins in Minnesota? Is that what I'm hearing? Is it finally the end of Kirk Cousins? Man, it took a lot of slack over the years. And it's gotten so bad to a point where I'm starting to root for Kirk Cousins now. Ain't that crazy? He's starting to be a favorite of mine. No, he's not the greatest. You can say he's a Band-Aid quarterback. But he actually played good this year. He actually played good. So, I don't know what the deal is, but I think somebody will pick him up. I don't think Kirk Cousins will be just on the shelf without a job next year. Somebody will pick him up. You know, he's a decent quarterback. I don't know if he's a Super Bowl quarterback, but he can win you some games. He can lose you some games. You know what I mean? So he balances it out. Let's just put it that way. He balances it out. But I'm going with the Lions, though. I'm going with the Lions in Week 18. Jets and Patriots. I'm going with the Jets. Even though they lost to the Browns last week, I'm going with the Jets. You really don't know what you're going to get from the Patriots. Sometimes they look good. Even when they look good, they still lose. Sometimes they look terrible and bad and still win. I think the reign is over in New England. It's time to flip-flop it now. These new players are not buying in on the Patriot way. Seems like they're tuning out Bill Belichick. His voice doesn't carry anymore. Is he still a great coach? I'm pretty sure. Don't look like it now. Hasn't really looked like it since Tom Brady left and now retired. So I'm pretty sure Bill Belichick want to prove himself somewhere else. Prove he can still win. Prove he's still a great coach. Prove he can still do it without a Tom Brady. Something's telling me that Cleveland could be the spot for him. He has roots over there. I can see that happening. In due time, I can see that happening. Could it be next year? Or could Bill take a year off? The man's been pressed for a long time coaching. Something like this happens where he gets fired or whatever, mutual agreement for him to leave New England. I think this man would love to take at least a year off. But we're going to see. But a dumpster fire indeed. And that's why I am taking the Jets in Week 18. Bengals and Browns. That's going to be a good one. Going to be a good one. But I'm taking the Browns. Yeah, I'm taking the Browns. They're 11-5. They beat the Jets. Can the Bengals win? Yes, they can win. It could be a toss-up, possibly. And understand, these are my picks. And I understand certain games, they might not even have the starters out there. They might just start playing rookies more, trying to look at some more guys. When you look at it, wins and losses in this week probably wouldn't even matter. We're still going to pick anyway. Certain games, yeah, it matters. They're going all out and trying to win. But on most of these, it could be a toss-up depending on how long the starters will play, if the starter's going to play. Certain teams are in great positions and they don't want to risk it so close to the playoffs. So you have to look at that. But I'm taking the Browns in week 18. Cowboys and Commanders. Cowboys. Oh, man. You know what? Nah, I'll take that back. Yeah. Cowboys. Week 18. Eagles and Giants. I'm going with the Giants. Yeah, I know what y'all think. It's frustrating. Yeah, it is. I'll be the first one to tell you, it is frustration. Yeah, I am taking the Giants at home against those Eagles. Yeah, it's frustration. I admit that. No problem with it. So this team realizes what's going on, what's at stake. Can you wake up? Are you going to play some decent football? Are you planning on leaving early, getting eliminated? Let's just say, I'm not even going to say they haven't played great football or good football in weeks. I'm just going to say, y'all haven't even played football. I'm going to leave it at that. Y'all haven't even played football in weeks. Matter of fact, it's going over a month. Yeah, there's problems. I'm not going to give a long story. Giants in week 18. That's what we're going with. Rams and 49ers. That can be a good one. Might shock a lot of people with this one. I am actually taking those Rams. 49ers at home. I am taking the Rams. And I'm not just taking them because the 49ers annihilated the Eagles. No, I'm past that now. I'm not over it, but I'm past it. I just think the Rams are catching their stride, and they've been playing some pretty good football here the last couple of weeks. And they're more than capable of winning that game. That's why I'm going out on a limb. I don't know if you want to call that a bold prediction or what, but I am taking those Rams in week 18 against the 49ers. Call me crazy. This is one of the biggest games of the week right here. Bills and Dolphins, no doubt about it. I'm expecting those Dolphins to come out and play after their embarrassment last week. Are the Dolphins exposed now? Are people looking at them like they're beatable? I'm taking the Bills in week 18 on the road playing the Miami Dolphins. Let's see what happens. That does it for the picks this week. Actually, that ends the season on the picks. Now I'll do the playoffs, of course. I'll get my playoff picks. But for the regular season, this one is in the books. Y'all been great. These are my picks. It's been a hell of a season. Now it's time for the real thing, finally. And the teams that's been struggling, the teams that are not that good, it's time for them to go home, plain and simple. Yeah, it's time for the little kids to go to bed and let these men take care of business. So if you've been a slumping team the last few weeks, or you crawling into the playoffs, you might be getting booted out early. Those teams know who I'm talking about. Those teams know who I'm talking about. But all we can do is sit back and wait. So, appreciate it. These are my picks. Let me know what y'all think about them. And remember, you can try to beat my picks. Put your list up. Who you picking this week? If it beats my picks, once again, free t-shirt. Good competition. That's all it is. Good competition. Y'all enjoy y'all Friday night. This Goodymo Sports Quick Hits. Thanks for your time. We out of here. Peace.